I'm here today with the amazing Julia McCoy, who I'm totally fangirling over because I've seen all the things she's done at Content at Scale. So thank you, Julia, so much for taking time with us.
Yes, Kelly. Thanks for having me. This is an amazing event. Kudos to you for putting it together. I've seen some amazing people be a part of it. So it's great to be a part
Awesome.
of it.
Awesome. Thank you. And I want to just give you a personal shout out because I know you just made a big move from Texas
Yes.
to Arizona, and you still were like, yes, I'm going to be part of your summit. So thank you for that. I know,
Oh,
when
you're so welcome.
moves are tough.
There's some UL boxes right over there. You're not even seeing.
Perfect, right? That's exactly the way that women do it, right? It's like, let's
Yeah.
just move them out of the way so I can just continue on and pretend like everything is normal. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure so many people can resonate with that. And for those of you that don't know Julia, Julia is a 9 times author and a leading strategist around creating exceptional content and presence that lasts online. As the president at Content at Scale, she works in AI, leading big initiatives for one of the world's best human like AI writers. She's been named in the top 30 of all content marketers worldwide. She's the founder of Content Hacker and exited a 100-person human writing agency in 2021 to help build the future of content and AI in 2023. I love that so much. And I know that you're so passionate about helping marketers and teams and entrepreneurs really just find the keys of online success and revenue growth without breaking. And I think, again, like to your point about like moving, right? Especially for females, we have so many plates that we spin. I really like that that's part of your passion is like, how can we make things easier without just completely feeling like everything's falling apart? So thank you
Yes.
for including that.
Yes. That's an important piece of what I do now. It's just like, oh, it's not about just doing the work. It's what is the actual transformation? And if it's efficiency and helping you have more freedom, that's kind of where I just sit back and I go, oh, I did good work today. Somebody has more freedom in their business.
Yeah.
And with AI, oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
endless.
And I love that. And that is always such a theme around the Women Who AI Summit. This is the third summit that we've launched. And the theme is always about like, yes, this is going to help you grow your business. Yes, this is going to help you generate more income. Yes, it's going to help you work smarter, not harder. And what if you could be more present with your family, right? What if you could have more
Yeah.
work-life balance? What if you don't have to work on Fridays? What if you can be with your kids? And I just love that I feel like that's something that we all bring to the table, that we all have in common is because we just spin so many plates. We
Mm,
realize it's more
yes.
than about just business growth and revenue.
Yes. Exactly. Why do it if you can't have fun and chill
Yeah.
out and enjoy the fruits of your labor? So
And
yes, big
pick up and make a giant move like 3 states away,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Well, can you share a little bit about your journey from when walked away from that agency to how came to be, what you're doing now with Content at Scale and things like that?
Yes, yes. I'll start a little bit at the beginning. In 2011, my journey started. I was 19 years old. I was actually in college to get a nursing degree, and halfway through that nursing degree, I realized this is not something I would enjoy at all. So I
Mhm.
asked myself, "What do I enjoy?" And it was writing. I've been writing ever since I could pick up a pen. So I just Googled how to make money writing, and this whole world opened up back then of freelance writing. And back then, it was really early. So Upwork was Odesk, and there were a couple other platforms that are now gone that existed back then. And work was plenty, but it was very, very cheap. So I
Mhm.
got started, and, I was getting like $5 an article, but that was some of the best education I could have had. So I went from there to within 3 months of starting that freelance profile, I had more work than I could handle. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make a choice. And keep in mind, like, I'm 19, I just dropped out of college. Life is pretty bright. There's a lot of potential here. And I had a lot of energy. So I wouldn't always recommend, go the cheapest route these days. But for me back then, it worked.
Yeah.
And so 3 months later, after starting that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to start a business. I had definitely realized at an early age I was also bitten with the entrepreneurial bug. So would never make a good employee, always like to work for myself. So knowing that, I definitely played to my strengths with starting a business. And that business took off, and I just kept working hard, applying myself, and realized that I had found what I love to do, which made it all easy. While it wasn't necessarily easy, it made the work fun and easier than it could have been. If I was doing something I hated, like nursing, the days would have just been long and hard. So found what I loved, fell into it. And fast forward 10 years to 2021, I was able to sell the agency. We had hit a place where we had 100 people. We had built an e-commerce platform. My husband, I got him to drop out of college and be our CTO. So he did that at the very beginning in 2012. And he was instrumental in doing the tech side of things while I did all the people, the management, the writing, the marketing. So wore many, many hats. But in 2021, let it go, sold it, and took 2022 to consult and teach, help people grow their businesses. Consulting looked like fun to me. So I wanted to see if it would be, and it was a lot of fun. And then towards the end of the year, ChatGPT came out in November. It was the world's fastest adapted technology, changed the world. And here I am, a writer, looking at AI writing, generating content in seconds that supposedly was as good as a writer. So I looked into it and I was like, ooh, this is not as good as me. And for the first entire month, November to the end of December, I was like, this is garbage. You guys probably should not use it. Like, that was my statement online.
Mhm.
And so in January, all that changed, January of last year, 2023, when I was just consistently researching. I'm like, okay, GPT-3 is the best I've ever seen GPT-B. So I know there's something here. I
Mhm.
just don't see it in ChatGPT. So what I found was a writing platform called Content at Scale. And I had been through so many other tools. They did not stack up to my process, which was long form SEO content that was created with the sole purpose of ranking in Google so that you got lots of traffic. That kind of content is not easy to create.
Mhm.
So Content at Scale they broke the code, they figured it out. And it was a proprietary stack where it wasn't just a single API call to ChatGPT, which a lot of the other tools were. It was 3 different LLMs stacked in a way that generated truly human-like content. And then it had its own search analyzer built into that technology too, that would go to Google, parse that content down, and put the research into the content. So it would actually link to facts, it would find the facts, and you had this editor environment you could work in. So I was like, okay, this is probably it. What I'm looking at is the early seeds of something that's going to revolutionize the entire industry of content marketing. So knowing that, I couldn't believe my reality. I don't jump on trends, but I do jump on things that work. And so when I saw this, I was like, I gotta people. I'm the founder. I picked a marketing plan, and this was, I want to say, it was Saturday. Whenever I pitched him the plan, and whenever I sent the email, heard back right away. Oh, this is pretty good. Let's hop on a call. So we did. And then I got offered a position of VP of marketing. I was, okay, we'll see how this goes. I've never been an employee all my life. I've only been an entrepreneur. So we'll see how this goes. And I just definitely crushed it because I came in like an entrepreneur and just did a lot.
Mhm.
So 3 months later, I was the president. I pitched him on that as well. And he very graciously said, sure, Julia, go right ahead. Great to work with. Very much a supporter. So fast forward to last fall, we were at a place where I was just had a breaking point. I'm like, I just can't be in a not working out. I need more freedom. I need more autonomy and to be able to do what I love, which is work in my zone of genius with no limitations. So we were going to part ways. Okay, not working out. You'll just be an affiliate. And then I was like, what if you bought my company? And then I became a partner.
No.
Said yes to that too. It was just a no-brainer. It's perfect alignment. So
Wow.
became partner last August, and I've been there ever since. And it feels like a mountain that I get to climb with some really bright people. So I really, really enjoy what I'm doing. And what we're doing is we're really pioneering some changes in the world of long form content through AI, where we're seeing writing teams go from hundreds of humans that didn't really enjoy it anyway to a
Mhm.
handful of the best humans that are doing it 10 times better. So it's
Mhm.
just more efficient, better processes with this platform, which is really just admirable to be a part of.
And it's such a big pain point, I feel like, that content at scale is speaking to, because I know, there's so many people out there using AI for blogs.
Yes.
Certainly have tried it, and I definitely know when we're talking about like true long form content, it takes a lot of work with tools like ChatGPT to get it to really create, it kind of gets stuck around that like 800 word mark. And then it really takes some massaging and, going back and forth to get that true long form content. And then it's like you get that long form content and it's still not SEO optimized, right? And so
Mm.
then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I have content, but what good is the content if it's also not working for you to drive traffic and, and things like that. And so I just love that it's this perfect like marriage of not only being able to write true long form content, but having that second layer in it where it's like, that SEO piece and all of that. Because I think one of the biggest things that we see is the confusion where people get stuck with AI. And again, for women who have like 100,000 things that they're already doing, I don't want to run my content through AI tools, right? In order to actually finally get it up on
Yeah.
my website. Like, what a dream to just have it be like, well, this thing, does all of it for you and it's effective.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
um, I just think that's what's so innovative about content at scale. I think that it's really allows that process to be like truly seamless so that you're creating everything all at once and you're coming out with this product that is going to not just be great content, but it's going to work for you at the same time, right? And I just
Mm.
I feel like we don't see that. That isn't something that we see very often.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um
Agreed.
I don't know how you feel about letting some of our viewers who maybe haven't seen content at scale, take a look at like what it looks like on the inside, maybe share a little bit about what it does for someone who is just like, could this be for me? Like, is that something that you'd be willing to share with our Women Who AI?
Oh, 100%. Yes, let's do
Amazing.
it.
All right.
I have it in a I'll just go share and walk you through some of the features. Oh, there we go. Got some
There you go.
internet.
Yes.
We're back.
The desert internet.
I'm telling you, I need to get Starlink. I was told that if you're not familiar with it, I'll walk you through a few things. Bring up the homepage here. Inside the dashboard, you're looking at this right when you log in, and this is a reflection of the time and the cost savings of switching over to our platform versus having just an army of human writers, which is what it used to take to develop like large scale content campaigns and lots of traffic. So we have like affiliate site publishers, we have bloggers, we have website owners, we have marketing directors, marketing teams, and their goal is to build traffic to their site. Those are the primary users. So pretty wide variety of people, which is really cool. But how this works is within a project, one project is one website. And one project, you can have as many posts, which are blogs, as you want. And these posts are written fully by content at scale. So up here inside a project, it's very simple. The first step you would do is set up a project. And that would be over here on the right. I'll show you. That would just be your website name. You're telling the AI context about how you help people, your audience, and then your tone of voice. And this is really cool because what we've done here is we don't just have you like type in professional. You can actually pick from all these different influencers. We've trained the AI on their voice, or you can go up here and pick a specific style that you relate to. You can also set up your own custom tone of voice, which is something that's really cool. I've actually done that for my blog. And whenever you set up custom, you'll get a new tab down here called AI training. And this little tab, you can load your examples. So your best content goes here, and then you're basically just telling the AI, this is my style, write like this. And you'll see like it emulates your style very well. So that's a very cool piece of this. And everything you upload, like let's say we've been asked this by authors, if they have a book that they haven't released yet, if you put anything in project settings, if you give it to the input source, like let's say you're taking a video that hasn't been released yet, an audio file, none of this speaks to any other customer or user project. So this is kept within your project. It doesn't, like, for example, if you're prompting ChatGPT, you're feeding the LLM. There's no parameters around that. You're basically not safe. If you fed it your book, there goes your book.
Right.
It's fed to the LLM. So not here. This is actually an environment that protects your proprietary information. So once you have your project set up, then here you have a whole bunch of features you can use. We're working on a new UI that will give you a new way to experience these features where instead of this, where you have tabs to pick from, you're going to have steps to choose from. Do you want to start with keyword research? Okay. Do you want to build a keyword cluster? And then you're just clicking yes, next step, which is, I think, going to be a really innovative way to kind of guide people through this process because it's a process of creating content from a keyword ready for publishing. So here we have several features that are really useful, especially to people that come in with SEO experience. This keyword research tool is an API call to an amazing tool Mangles created called Keyword Finder. So it's a legitimate keyword research tool that comes included. That's another, those tools can be anywhere from 40 to 100 a month. You don't have to pay for. Just like Kelly, you were saying, the tool stack reduction is amazing. I don't have all these tabs up here. I just have one tool. So once you're researching a keyword, and let's say you find one with a great search volume and a low ranking difficulty, like this one is only 33, and these scores go from 1 to 100. So anything around 40 or below is great. Your competition's very low. This is another amazing one, AI and content marketing. So straight from here, you can click create content and it'll go straight into the posts. And I'll show you what one of these looks like when it comes out. So straight out of AI, it looks like this. And the score is going to be a little bit lower than, let's say, 80 is your high score. Like that's your green. But that's for a reason because, something that we encourage is for you to be in here optimizing your content before it goes out. But your time went from 8 hours to write this draft from scratch with all the research, all the formatting down to like 30 minutes of optimization and editing. So the time savings is pretty drastic. So we fed it a keyword to generate this blog. The keyword was how to start a blog. You can see it wrote the meta title, it wrote the meta description, and then it wrote all this content. So this is content that the AI wrote. And if you read it, like to me, the quality of what this particular AI can do is so impressive because this is writing that I would write. It's very clear, it's to the point, there's little fluff, and then you have a full, what is this? Yeah, 10-step guide on how to actually start a blog. So your content here is so good. We have links to sources that's automatically done by this platform. And this is all original, which is another reason I had to jump on this bandwagon. Whenever you go down here in the research tab, you can actually do a plagiarism scan. This connects directly to Copyscape, which is the leading plagiarism checker that I used for 10 years in my agency. So it's telling us that this isn't plagiarized. This is 100% original. And that's something you also don't get with a lot of other AI tools, which is a little bit of a danger zone. If you're using something that's scraping and regenerating content that already exists, it's usually not good content. So here we have like real original content all the way through. And then down here, like you can see, it's actually signed by me with links to my paid community and a paid course. And how we've done that is again through the AI in the project settings. Let me go back to the project up here. You can set CTAs in the project settings. And these CTAs right here, call to action, you set it once and then it's going to write that in every single blog. So your blog will, even the CTAs can be fully automated where you're working in making this go from, oh, the AI generated it to, oh, let's go. And you can see like we're recording this the 13th of February. This was just generated on the 11th. So this was just generated a couple days ago. And as we scrolled through it today, I know we're looking at good content. And this takes about 5 to 6 minutes when you feed it a keyword or just sitting back waiting 5 to 6 minutes. And then you get this. So that's a look at content at scale. And Kelly, I still pinch myself that we can get content this good through a robot. That's insane.
It is insane. And I love, we're always about, I think I think the pioneers and the real leaders in general in the AI industry really are holding tight to that recognition around this is a partner, this is a tool. We need to remain authentic, and make sure that it's still our voice and our words. And I love, like, the minute you showed me, just being able to tone, like, train the tone, right? And the fact that you said that everything that's uploaded stays within the project, right? So,
Mm.
um, I think that's something that is a concern for people, right? Like, we know, like, why
Yes.
do I want to upload all my
Mm.
videos into ChatGPT to have it draw content because now it's out there? But you've not only created something that's seamless and easy, right? And like you said, has eliminated not only having to use a bunch of tools, but eliminated the cost of having to use a bunch of tools. And then you guys have really taken a look at how to make sure that we're still able to train it and to, allow the content to be authentic and a safe way. I definitely would be pinching myself too if this was a tool that I had something to do with in terms of getting out there, because I think it's one of its kind. Like, I think there's a lot of great tools out there. I often
Yeah.
tell people there's, for for example, video editing. Yeah, there's a bunch of great AI video editing tools. You could use this, you could use this, you could use this. But I think content at scale is rare in that it is like the only tool of its kind
Mm.
that is
Yeah.
that level of quality.
I 100% agree. I
Yeah.
was I was just reviewing another AI writer because I consider it my job to look at what's out there, see if there's anything that's nailing it like this. And I was just looking at the one that recently popped on the scene. Is very similar, agility writer. And whenever you get to this stage, whenever the post gets written, you don't actually have an editor. So you're looking at this static page, a lot like ChatGPT. You
Mhm.
can't really do anything with. So there's so many features here, so many that I haven't even gone into that are the reason why it's just like you said, it really is one of a kind. It's hard to compare other tools to content at scale for that specific purpose of long form, original quality content.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So in terms of like the ideal client, right? If somebody is sitting out there watching this and they're wondering, like, is this for me?
Mm, yeah.
What would you say are some pain points? Like, what are some things that people might be experiencing right now as they're trying to generate content, as they're trying to write blogs, as they're trying to figure out SEO, which is like a whole other thing, right? Like, to figure out SEO
Mhm.
is a whole other that's a whole other session, right? So,
Yes.
what would you tell the women out there watching this in terms of, if they're wondering if this is for them, this is for them if what? Like, what are some of
Mm.
the points that they might be feeling?
Yes. I would say if you can't get blog content out, if you are doing the reels, the Instagram, the shorts, but you're like, oh, I still don't have traffic. And you're missing that baseline ingredient, which is the website. But if you have a website built, that's like all you need to start blogging.
Mhm.
So if you're at that stage where you're like, okay, I can't get to my blog, but I know I need the blog and I know and I value the traffic that comes from the blog. Blog traffic, I've studied it, spent 10 years doing it myself, have tested so many other types of marketing. And it's not that the other types of marketing are bad. It's just that blog traffic specifically is the only source of traffic that continues to build on itself. So, like an Instagram reel has death, right? That content will actually expire and it doesn't stay at the top of the feed. It's only there
Mm,
sometimes for a second. It's gone forever. But
mhm,
with a blog, especially if you map it to a keyword, it can be always found for that keyword over and over by your ideal buyer. And it's been amazing because I've seen women that are small business owners succeed at this so well. There was a bookkeeper that came through Content Hacker. She had a bookkeeping business on the side as she homeschooled. And she was like, Julie, I'm going to blog and I'm going to use content at scale. And so she did it and she followed the strategy I recommend of choosing a long tail keyword and just get very, very clear with your long tail keywords. Like for her, it's going to be small business bookkeeping and everything under that that a client would want to know about. So whether it's like tax saving benefits for my small business, that's a 5-word keyword that's not going to have a lot of competition. that she can use content at scale to generate a blog in 10 minutes for that would normally take you having to go find a writer, train that writer on SEO, know SEO yourself, have
Mhm.
to use a stack of multiple tools to find the keyword and then manage the writer and then get the content. But with this tool, it even integrates to your website if you have WordPress. So you can publish straight from the tool. So she went from, okay, I think I'm going to blog, to using our tool to find the keyword, to straight to publishing. And then within a few weeks of consistent publishing, and she did have a website that was just sitting collecting dust, which is a nice thing because that means you have a website with some age. That's pretty cool. So once you start doing consistent content, you'll see things pick up likely in a matter of a couple months. But she saw it in weeks where
Wow.
she actually started getting a client for that specific keyword. And she was like, I can't believe it. This works. I got my first inbound lead. It's amazing. I didn't have to do any Instagram this week. And she loved it. And so, especially for us as women, like you said, we balance so many things. I just think blogging is a secret weapon almost that we can really use to our advantage, especially with AI tools like Content at Scale.
I love that. And what I've noticed too, just with blogging in general, is whether you're using, Claude or Chat GPT or other tools to write like that shorter form content. I'm a big believer in my AI workflows that if you have a solid blog, you have like 500,000 other pieces of content that you can generate from that one blog, right? You
Yeah.
can get your social media posts, you can get your Instagram reels, your topics, like all of the other things. And what better way to use a tool like this to ensure that you've got not only you've got that blog written, but you can also be confident that the blog that, that you're the content that you're putting up on your website is also going to work for you. I love it really like resonated with me when you said if you're someone who's doing like Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, and you're still not getting any traffic. I'm
Mm.
like, isn't that the majority? I feel like of the people there, like,
Yeah.
so many people spinning their wheels. Yes, using AI to generate content, but if it's not doing anything for you, right? If you're not seeing any return from it, then it's all for nothing, right? I mean, it's really
Yes.
we're spinning our wheels. And so this is just super exciting. First of all, thank you for showing us just the backside of it for people who maybe haven't seen how content at scale works. But
Yes.
I think it's such a like a beautiful platform in terms of all the things it can do and recognizing you've got like this really solid piece of content that you
Mm.
can use other types of AI to generate, that shorter form content. So I think that's amazing.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for giving me the chance to share that with your amazing audience.
Yeah, yeah. And thanks for coming on and, being a
Yep.
part of the summit.
Thanks.
I know you've been planning your own summit. If I am not mistaken, it is in person. Can you just
Yeah.
share a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So my community Content Hacker, we're hosting our first ever in-person event called Content Hacker Live. That will be March 12th and 13th in Austin, Texas. So we're taking over a little house on 6th Street during South by Southwest, which if you haven't been, that's tons of fun. Austin kind of the city shuts down and it becomes foot traffic, and the foot traffic just goes into all these amazing venues that companies and production, media, TV, all kinds of brands just come take over and create all kinds of cool experiences for people to walk into. So ours is going to be there, Content Hacker Live. We have Matt Wolf speaking on the first evening. He's one of YouTube's most followed
Mhm.
AI technologists. So he'll be there. And then we have around 14 other speakers during that full day. Our headliner is Elena Cardone. So we're just beyond delighted to have her on stage opening that day up. So to learn more about that, go to contenthacker.com/event. But yeah, I'd love to have you there if you're a fan of AI and you're a fan of content, but you need some inspiration. You want to meet real people and learn more about how to use it best.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So, yes, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, yes, we love the summits. And when can we get with other AI users and, leaders in person? It's definitely something I find is so valuable to be in a room with other people, not
Yes.
just like-minded people wanting to learn how to use AI and to be in the room where you can have direct access to some amazing and brilliant experts. And I have been peeking at the lineup you have for speakers, and you definitely have some amazing speakers. So thank you
Mm.
for sharing that. Anybody who's in the Austin area or feels like hopping on a plane to Austin during South by Southwest, I'm sure Julia would love to have you. And
Yes.
again, Julia, like, thanks for your time. Thanks for everything that you've done for AI. I definitely know you're just a big inspiration in the AI space in general. And of course, we're so lucky to have you here as part of the Women Who AI Summit.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm a big fan of what you're building, what you're putting together, this amazing community and event. So thanks so much for inviting me.
All right. Thank you. And thanks everybody for joining us today in this session of the Women Who AI Summit. We will be back tomorrow where you're going to get to hear from a lot of female AI innovators doing amazing things in the world of AI. Take care.